Hello guys, my name is Olumide. Welcome to my YouTube channel. You want to learn how to change your background like a pro by introducing shadows in the right angle of your image. This is the right video for you. Without wasting your time, let's walk into the beautiful world of Photoshop. I want to show you how I got from here to here. So amazing. How am I wasting your time? The first thing we want to do is let's delete this. Okay, we are back and running. Okay, the first thing we want to do is the background is on purple. I want to change it to gray. So there are a lot of ways you can do that. I'm just going to show you through hue, saturation. Just come and depend on the color you're working on with now, but this color is suitable for hue and saturation. So come to magentas and just drag the saturation down to 0. Boom, that fixes it. So we are done with that. I want to merge the layers together. The next thing I want to do right now is I want to mask my subject. So how do I do that? Just come to a selection tool and select and mask. So here we are in select and match. There are a few things I want you to know. Select and match. It could be on different, maybe overlay on black or whichever one, but you can set it back to onion skin and then 50 transparency. It's okay. It's on 47 right now, but 50 is okay. Then you can select your subject. Just come up here and click on select subject. Photoshop will automatically dictate your subject for you. It might not be a perfect one, but at least it will help you. So now we have other places we might want to adjust. So just come to your lasso tool here. Make sure it's on polygonal lasso tool. We have two different lasso tools. The polygonal will work perfectly well for what we want to do. So we have areas we want to remove out. If you hold on your Alt, the positive sign under the tool will change to negative. So you can just click on your Alt and the negative means it will remove, and the positive means it will add, just like subtraction and addition. And you can always do that as well here, but then I think I'm okay with this one. It's faster for me. Just hold my Alt and I change whatever it is that I want to change. So like this. Okay, I don't want to waste your time. Let's just do that. Okay, check all the places you want and just the more time you take in fixing some of these things, the better the image will become and the better your selection actually. But then for the sake of the tutorial, I don't want to waste your time, and as well I want to make sure I get my message across beautifully. Okay, so that being said, where do we have again? I think it's okay. This side, fast and not wasting your time. Okay, I think we are okay. I'm okay with the selection. This part of our hair, we can always fix it. We can always fix it with the mask. You can do it as well here, but I don't want to waste your time. We are 3 minutes into the video already and I'm looking at time seriously. The next thing I want to do is we want to change the radius to just increase it to like 1 and make sure you're smooth. Change it to like 3 or 4. Okay, then your shift edge, you can take it to negative 70 something or 50. It depends. Just play around with it and see which one works better for what you are doing. Then very important, your output, set it to new layer with layer mask. New layer with layer mask, so that we have a new layer and we have the mask there. Boom, here we are, and we are getting closer and closer. Okay, now like I told you earlier, I said we can fix some of our hair and anything on the body. How do you do that? Is on mask. Just make sure your foreground color is set to white. You can reset by just pressing D on your keyboard and it's on white. Pick up your brush. If there's any part that is gone that you want to bring back, just make sure your opacity is on 100 and your flow is on 100 and just paint on the mask like that. It will bring them back. Can you see it? Just like that, every hidden thing. And if you want to hide something, you can always just change it to black and just hide just like that. You can see you can fix everywhere. I mean everywhere. Anything at all. That's a beautiful, a very beautiful thing about mask. So I think I'm okay with this. The next thing we want to do is you can still work on selection, please. If I'm to do it properly, I'm going to take more time in making sure that all the hair and every other thing, they are back intact, but I don't want to waste your time. If you are practicing this, please just take your time and make sure you get out the selection well. Okay, and that being said, the next thing I want to do is I want to introduce white to my background. This is on transparent already. It's hidden, the background is hidden, so I want to introduce new background, which is white. Come to new layer, create a new layer here, and then come to your gradient map. Fantastic tool. Double click on here so that it brings us to the properties. It could be on any color. You could play around with color, but for the sake of this tutorial, it's black and white. I want to click on black and white, and then what I want is white and gray actually. So we want two colors, that's why we're selecting black and white. So what did I want to do? I will click on here, make sure it's on white, clean white, click OK. Then I'll come to the other slide here, just double click, it brings it to the color. It's on black, so we'll bring it to gray. I don't want it to be that dark gray, I want it to be very light gray. Why am I doing that? Because I want to make sure that the floor that she's standing on will be slightly different from the other part. I don't want it to be too white like the other part. So if you see from here like this, you see that as soon as the slide keeps going, it keeps getting whiter and whiter. From here it's like gray, and by the time we get to the right hand side here, it's white already. So click OK. Then what do we want to do? Make sure that here is not set on reverse and all that. Then select your linear gradient here, the first one here, select your linear gradient. Then you can hold on your shift so that we can draw a straight line, and just right click and drag to the point you want the gray to stop. Oh, really? We did something wrong. Okay, our layer. Okay, let me just go back so that I won't confuse you guys. Okay, what we did is we created a new layer on the our selected image, which is wrong. We are supposed to come to the background and create a new layer on the background that gives it. So we can always come back to our gradient map. Now just hold your shift and just take it up till you get to a point that you want, like that. Boom. If you look at it carefully, you discover that down here is looking gray, then up is looking white. That's exactly the feeling that I want. It's not yet perfect actually, but then we are still going somewhere. So the next thing we want to do now is we want to create shadow, and we are coming to the end of the video already. I want to create shadow. So what do we do? You come to our mask layer here, click on the mask, then hold your control to make selection of our subject. Just hold your control. Boom, you see our subject has been selected. So we now create a new layer with that selected subject. Just click on create new layer. Automatically the subject is inside this new transparent layer that you are seeing here. So pick up your brush, set your color to black, and just paint on the subject like this. Boom, don't worry, we still have our subject. Remember, it's just this layer we are painting on. So that if you toggle off, you see our image is there. Back. So now the next thing you want to do is click on your view or transform the image, and let's just change it slightly. Okay, that's it. So now we wouldn't want it to be like this. It's looking so sharp. So what do we do? Come to your filter, blur, Gaussian blur. So we set the blur to around maybe 15. It's not too much. Now it depends on your choice. 15 is okay. Okay. Then if you look at the image, let me toggle this off. We discover that the light is coming from it's slightly coming from the right hand side. So I want my shadow to fall towards the left hand side, and I want it around 45 degrees. So how do I achieve that? Bring this back on, toggle it on, and I just select on my V. So I pick it up like this and just move. Okay, I just move like this. I don't want it. Okay, somewhere around there. I think I'm okay here. Don't worry, we can always adjust it. So click okay, then we just select. So we just come here and just reduce the opacity on the shadow layer. Please don't forget, on the shadow layer, take it down till you get what you want. So for me, around, for the sake of the tutorial, let me just leave it around 20, but if I want to do it, I'll leave it around, let's say around 7. but I want you to see the difference clearly. So let's leave it around 20, or let's say 18 or 17. Okay, look at what we have now. Beautiful shadow. Now if you zoom into the picture, you discover that if you zoom and you come closer, you discover that we have the shadow on the shoes and all that. We don't want that. So what do we do to remove that? Just click on your mask and pick up your brush. Make sure your foreground color is set to black. Why? Because black hides while white reveal. So now we are putting it on black since the mask is on white. Black, so that black will hide the shadow from the shoe. Do you get it? Okay, or from the sneakers, whichever thing she's putting on there. So then we now just paint on it like this and just clean it. Is it sneaker? Is it canvas? Is it shoe? Whichever one. On our body as well, we can just clean it. And okay, we don't want it here as well. We don't want it here as well. Okay, I think we are good if you look at it. Okay, all right, just look at it. Beautiful, right? We can still adjust it. If you want it to still come down a little bit, you can just adjust it and bring it down. Okay, I think it's okay this way. For me, you can still change it a little bit. Okay, let's see. I think I'm liking it this way. Or now it depends on what you want. Okay, I love it this way. So we have part of it again on the skin. So we just don't forget what we did the other time. We just take it out, selecting your brush and just painting black on it. It will automatically take those things away. So now look at it. Beautiful, beautiful. Now we have a new background and a beautiful shadow, and now he's not looking like he's floating again. He's just looking so beautiful. Let me show you again what we did and from where we're coming from. This is where we're coming from, and this is where we got to. So a little recap. Don't forget, you can desaturate your color. Once you load your image, desaturate the color. The next thing you do is you select a subject and mask it. Then you use your gradient map to introduce any color at all that you want into the image. And lastly, you create a new layer and create your shadow by painting black on the selected subject, blur it and reduce the opacity, and boom, you have something beautiful. And if you are not comfortable with the edges, don't forget, you can always come back to our subject layer here and just use white to review editing. Don't forget, the color, everything is still there. Can you see as I'm painting? Is still there. Is still there. So you can always bring anything back at all. You see, they are all still there. Can you see it? You can bring anything back. So if you want any part of the subject that you want to introduce back to the image, you can always get them back. But for the sake of this tutorial, I think I'm okay with this. You can always play around. So that brings us to the end of the tutorial. I want to say thank you very much for you guys. You guys have been the reason and motivation behind me dropping videos. I want to say thank you so much. If you know you've learned something again today, please like, share. I know some of you understand these things and you know these things already, but you know, never can tell. There are people around you that they want and they need it. So please share, like, and make comments. Thank you so much. See you in my next tutorial.